In the competitive landscape of nonprofit funding, where resources are scarce and donor expectations are high, effectively evaluating nonprofit program success is essential for sustainability and growth. According to recent surveys, approximately 70% of nonprofits struggle to demonstrate measurable impact, often because they select inappropriate evaluation approaches that fail to capture the full picture of program performance. We're going to explore nonprofit program evaluation methods, focusing on 3 key frameworks: goal-based, process-based, and outcomes-based, all to help organizations choose the right tools for assessing new initiatives. Imagine launching a community health program to reduce obesity rates, only to discover midway that logistical issues are derailing delivery while short-term targets appear to be met on paper. This scenario highlights the pitfalls of mismatched evaluation. By understanding how to choose goal-based versus outcomes-based evaluation for nonprofit programs, leaders can align assessments with their mission, optimize resource allocation, and build compelling cases for funders. We will provide a step-by-step framework for selecting and implementing the best method, empowering your organization to thrive in an impact-driven era. Nonprofit program evaluation methods serve as a systematic approach to determine whether initiatives achieve their intended purposes, encompassing efficiency, effectiveness, and relevance in serving communities. For new programs, evaluation is not an afterthought, but a strategic tool that informs adjustments, justifies funding, and enhances accountability to stakeholders like boards and donors. Common challenges include limited budgets, which affect 60% of small nonprofits, and staff often resist evaluation because they perceive it as bureaucratic overhead rather than a pathway to improvement. At its core, evaluation involves collecting and analyzing data on inputs such as resources invested, activities, what the program does, outputs, immediate results like participant numbers, and outcomes, changes in beneficiaries' lives. New programs benefit from tailored methods because early stage efforts prioritize feasibility testing, while scaling requires proof of broader impact. For instance, evaluating nonprofit program success demands balancing quantitative metrics, such as attendance rates, with qualitative insights from participant feedback to avoid skewed conclusions. So when talking about goal-based evaluation centers on verifying whether a nonprofit program meets its predefined, measurable objectives, often framed as SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound targets. This method is particularly suited for new programs where clear milestones, such as reaching 500 beneficiaries in the first year, or securing matching grants provide straightforward benchmarks for progress. To implement, organizations define key performance indicators like completion rates or budget adherence, then track them using simple tools such as spreadsheets or donor dashboards. In goal-based evaluation, the process begins with establishing baselines before launch, followed by periodic reviews to assess deviations and to celebrate wins, ensuring accountability without overwhelming resources. The pros include its donor-friendly nature, as funders appreciate tangible results such as we trained 200 volunteers, which directly tie to program goals. However, a key con to goal-based is its narrow focus, which may overlook external factors such as economic shifts that influence outcomes. For example, a literacy program might hit enrollment goals, but miss deeper engagement due to unaddressed transportation barriers. In practice, choosing between goal-based and outcomes-based evaluation for nonprofit programs depends on the initiative's maturity. Goal-based is well suited for pilots that need quick validation. By prioritizing achievements, goal-based evaluation builds confidence in new programs, paving the way for expansion while maintaining fiscal discipline. In talking about process-based evaluation, process-based evaluation, also known as formative or implementation evaluation, scrutinizes how a program is executed, focusing on operational fidelity, resource utilization, and potential bottlenecks to refine delivery. Ideal for new nonprofit programs in their rollout phase, this method examines whether activities align with the original design, such as verifying if training sessions reach intended audiences or if materials are distributed efficiently. Key techniques in process-based include staff interviews, site observations, and workflow audits to identify inefficiencies like delays in volunteer coordination. Implementation involves mapping the program's logic model to real-world execution, collecting data on inputs and outputs to diagnose issues early and prevent escalation. Process-based evaluation pros are proactive. It can uncover fixes such as streamlining registration processes in a job training initiative, potentially reducing administrative costs by 20 to 30%. But a notable con is its resource intensity, requiring dedicated time for qualitative data gathering that might strain small teams. Consider a youth mentorship program where process evaluation reveals mismatched pairings, allowing adjustments to it to boost retention. In talking about outcomes-based evaluation, outcomes-based evaluation shifts the lens to the program's impact on participants and communities, assessing short and long-term changes such as improved health metrics or increased community cohesion beyond mere activity completion. For evolving new programs, this method tracks indicators such as behavior shifts or economic benefits using tools like pre- and post-program surveys or longitudinal tracking. A step-by-step guide to measuring impact in nonprofit initiatives starts with defining desired outcomes in a theory of change, then gathering evidence through mixed methods to validate causal links. This evaluation excels in demonstrating value to impact-focused funders, revealing how a housing assistance program not only provides shelter, but also reduces family stress and boosts employment rates. Pros to outcome-based evaluation includes alignment with nonprofit outcomes measurement strategies, offering evidence for scaling or policy advocacy. However, cons include complexity and cost, as attributing changes solely to the program requires controlling for variables like external events. In one case, an environmental nonprofit used outcomes evaluation to link cleanup efforts to a 15% drop in local pollution, informing future grant proposals. Selecting among nonprofit program evaluation methods requires considering program stage, available resources, and strategic goals to ensure that evaluations yield actionable insights. Goal-based suits objective-driven launches. Process-based aids operational tuning. And outcomes-based proves enduring value, with hybrids often providing the most holistic view. Criteria like budget constraints and stakeholder needs guide choices, avoiding one-size-fits-all pitfalls. For new programs, begin with process-based during implementation, then transition to goal-based for milestone, and adopt outcomes-based post-launch for refinement. This comparison highlights synergies, such as combining process insights with outcomes data for comprehensive reporting. To implement these nonprofit program evaluation methods effectively, start by developing a logic model that outlines inputs, activities, outputs, and expected outcomes, serving as a roadmap for method selection. Involve diverse stakeholders early through workshops to build consensus and ensure ethical data practices, such as obtaining informed consent and protecting privacy in accordance to nonprofit regulations. Free tools like Google Forms or Tableau Public for visualizations make entry accessible, while advanced options like SurveyMonkey or nonprofit-specific platforms such as Logic Model Builder streamline complex analysis. Avoid pitfalls such as data silos by integrating evaluation into daily operations and setting quarterly reviews to pivot as needed. In conclusion, mastering nonprofit program evaluation methods, goal-based for targets, process-based for operations, and outcomes-based for impact, equips organizations to evaluate nonprofit program success with precision and purpose. By strategically choosing approaches like how to choose goal-based versus outcomes-based evaluation for nonprofit programs, nonprofits can demonstrate value, adapt to challenges, and secure vital support. As artificial intelligence tools evolve for automated analysis, forward-thinking leaders will integrate them to stay ahead.